and it's live. So welcome everybody to my first official live stream. I want to thank Shem at Tartarian Truth for joining me. This is
What's up,
pretty
man?
exciting. What's up? It's my
Thanks for
first
having
live
me.
stream. Oh, you're welcome, man. It's my first live stream, so I just want to say again, thank you, and anybody that's here on the chat. And we have another YouTuber, Bernie's going to join us in a bit. So today's topic is basically artificial intelligence, what it is, what it isn't, what do we think about. I have some thoughts. Shem has some thoughts about what it is, and maybe some theories as to what is really going on behind the scenes. And so I guess here we are at the live stream. So Shem, welcome.
Appreciate it. Yeah, the AI stuff is crazy because people are still tagging me on stuff and saying that you didn't actually create the images and that you're just lying about it, about creating them, and you made the video but you didn't create them. So I
Oh,
think
the
that
I oh yeah, I still get comments on my YouTube channel, people thanking me for showing them the truth. And I also get comments from people that have said that I have collaborated with them in the past. So I have a history now with some people that I have been, I guess, an investigator about the ice wall. And for those that are not familiar with the whole ice wall incident, I want to give a big shout out to John Levy for blowing up my channel. Thank you very much. And what had happened is that I made a video not too long ago. Maybe I should play a portion of it. What do you think?
yeah, let's check it out. It's been a minute since I've seen it. Why not?
Yeah, let's see. So I have, let's see, let me pick a window. Here we go. Okay, so here is the infamous ice wall video that made me famous. This is the actual video that blew up my channel. Again, big shout out to John Levy or Levi. I don't know how to pronounce his name.
Levi, yeah, shout out John Levi.
Levi, John Levi. Levi, thank you very much. And let me put the volume down a little bit. And so let's just play it, and maybe we can just comment on it because I honestly thought that this video was real enough, but also fake enough to give away the con. Right? I thought that I gave enough clues, right, to let people know.
Yeah, once you get into like the 30-second mark beyond, it's pretty obvious. But I mean, some of the first images I could see if you're just you're just hanging out and watching something, you might fall for it. Maybe you look away for a minute, don't
Yeah.
catch some, because when you first start seeing the faces and like the animals and stuff, it's obvious. So maybe people looked away.
And and what I found interesting was just I kind of
Like
looked
right
at
here, like right here, like this should immediately give it away. Is that little scarecrow looking guy right there? But so what I'm imagining happened is people saw these first two images and they're like, "Holy crap!" and they kind of look away. Maybe they look at their phone or something for a minute, and then they go back and they completely miss this because yeah, as soon as you see that, that should be a red flag.
yeah. For those that want to know what's a good giveaway for if an image is being created with artificial intelligence, is the way the human figures are created. AI right now at the moment has a hard time with like hands. That's the biggest giveaway. The way certain body parts connect, like it has a hard time making people look right when they're sitting down or holding something. Sometimes the hand will be a little bit distorted around an object. And right here, it seems like this guy just hiked up his pants too high, right? His legs.
Yeah, it just looks completely fake. What are you playing this on YouTube? Because there isn't any sound for me.
No, oh we no, I'm playing it on my desktop.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, but I mean, there
there you go.
it does have a cool soundtrack. Like even people that don't believe it, I get compliments on the soundtrack. And right
Yes,
here, this is one of my favorite ones because this one looks kind of real enough, right, to make you believe that there was something there.
yeah, it just looks like rubble or something though. I mean, it's not. It's weird because John Levi said it looked like a city. I don't see that.
No,
I don't. It's
maybe like
definitely
a
not to that
building.
scale. Yeah, like one individual structure maybe.
Yeah, and this one is totally off scale. So this looks like if you were to remove the mountains and maybe the stuff in the front, it might look real, but this looks like a miniature version of a ruins to me. So I thought images like this would be a giveaway that it was not real.
Yeah. Rain's a coming. These two are assuming a great deal. Did you see that comment?
Let me see. Oh, here we go.
I think they're referring to us, maybe. Assuming a great deal about what?
This is my
The famous penguin.
this is my favorite. Like this is what made me fall in love with the AI. Because at first I was just playing with the technology. Because a buddy had actually told me about AI like 2 years ago, maybe, and I was very skeptical. But then once I started playing with it and I got this image, that's when I really fell in love because the AI was smart enough to figure out that if there was statues, it would probably be of the animals around the area.
So did you type? You didn't type in penguin. You just typed in statues, or did you? Do you
Um,
remember?
yeah, the prompts I would use is first I would tell it to give me a picture that looked like it came from the 1800s. And the prompts isn't always a hit or miss. Sometimes you might get a good series and then you're not getting anything, so you kind of have to push it. And I think I put like monuments, ruins of monuments in in Antarctica in the style of a photograph from the 1800s, something like that. I don't know what
And it
order.
just picked penguin. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Penguin statue. Yeah, these are the ones right here that really like get people excited though. So that's probably why they're still getting spread around, because when you see something like this, it's interesting.
But I thought it would be fake because why would it look like an existing pyramid? Like all the pyramids in the world look different, right? Like, so why would a pyramid that looked like it came from Egypt? Like, why
No,
wouldn't it have its own style?
that's a good point. But have you? I don't know. I would say the Egyptian pyramids look different than a lot of the other ones. But like as far as the South American ones, you can find that same style in China. Have you ever seen those pyramids before over in like Asia? They look
Yeah.
exactly the same. North
Well, I
America, South America. I don't know if
well, I
there's
feel
very
like they
many in
look.
Europe though.
Well, I feel they're similar, but I feel like they still have a distinctive character to each one. I guess is because I've seen they have similar doorways, similar steps, right? But there's still something that makes them unique at the same time. I feel.
Yeah, I'd have to look at side by side comparisons maybe.
Yeah, maybe we could do that in a bit. So let's write that down. Okay, because that's a good point. This one looks real. This one again. Why would a random thing just be on there? This one looks too random for me to be real. But again, I'm not an expert on ruins. It looked real enough to me, but not too real. Again, this one I felt would have been a good uh, giveaway simply because of the bones. You see how the bones look all connected there?
Yeah, they're very strange looking and they're pretty clean if they were real.
Yeah. And then the stuff in the background is pretty intact. I mean, I guess it would make sense if things in the Arctic and Antarctica would be intact because of the cold. Who got off the ship and took this picture?
Exactly.
But this one does look real. Like if this wasn't in a history book, no one would question it, I think.
Yeah, I mean, they're well done. It's just, some of them give it away, obviously, but.
Oh, look, Bernie's here. I'm gonna welcome Bernie.
Hello, hello. Good to see you, Edgar.
Likewise.
What's up, man?
It's a
Pleasure.
meeting reunion.
Sorry it's a little dark. I'm just driving home through a blizzard right now, but couldn't miss up the opportunity to talk to good Edgar.
Wow, that's cool, man. How's the weather out there besides snow? What else is going on?
It is minus 15 Celsius, so that's pretty warm for Canada and or the Antarctic. So we're getting ready for this Antarctic expedition one day.
I'm glad you're committed to it. That makes me
happy. Straight prepping, driving through blizzards.
I don't know if I'm going.
Okay, so we got a question. How many of your videos are AI generated? Most of them. Anything that has the mud flood, anything that has the ice wall, it's all fake. Even anything old. I have pictures of a freak show that's fake. I have a photo set of witches that's fake, and it
It's
was just
AI.
it's AI.
It's AI. Generate art generated, right? I like the AI now. Like you got me into it a bit, and like I've got a lot of respect for you, Edgar, because you came forward, you admitted your social experiment, and you've owned it, and like your most recent video of Governor Newsom in Antarctica, like that's hilarious. I love it.
Thank you, thank you. I'm gonna have to figure out how to. I have to come up with a new meme though. It's
Yeah.
gonna get burnt out.
The show, maybe Elon to Mars or something.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. I want to have a list of celebrities. I think Meghan Markle is up there on the list. I really need to do
Oh,
something
that's a
cool
good
with
call,
her.
man. Good call.
All right. So right now, Bernie, we're watching. We're going through the ice wall video. We're just kind of commenting, seeing what's up. Giving our thoughts on each individual slide.
Right. Well, the one you got up is believable, right? That one, although it's like stuff's pretty blocky, at the same time, the average person could be forgiven for thinking that's real. But I saw the bones one you had earlier up and how they're merged together. It's like these are dead giveaways that once you start getting the eye for it, you see it every time.
Yeah, exactly. And like you said, it's pretty blocky. That the ice looks like it came from Minecraft a little bit.
Minecraft.
Like, so that last picture through that like ice cave of the boat, it's like, how the heck would they have even gotten that photo? Like,
But I guess we live in the present moment. People are used to seeing movies, right? So this I guess it's believable in that sense, right? That
very true.
and
Like I guess the other perspective is too. That boat would just. I'm imagining that boat's actually just frozen down there, and the people are taking the picture on some kind of military ship because you would not be surviving on that ship in that weather. I don't think. I mean, I don't know, but I don't think so.
well,
Yeah, good point.
I could have put on the caption that this was taken after the crew got stuck in the ice, right? That's what you're trying to say.
Yeah, something like that.
Let's see. And this picture, I feel people are going to want to believe anything about the ice wall, and I feel people want to believe about the ice wall so much that this kind of fills in the blanks into what this ice wall could be, right? Like King Kong.
That's an undeniable ice wall, so no doubt about it.
Yeah. This one too. To me, this was a pretty sloppy rendering, but I put it in there anyways. Again, I thought
kind of looks geopolymer or like marble-ish almost.
Yeah, exactly. And these are the best ones I feel because this is what people are used to seeing pictures from the past, right? Like for Bigfoot is a good example. Like it doesn't give you much. It's a pretty crazy image, but it's enough for people again to fill in the blanks and make people believe what they want to believe.
Absolutely, Edgar. Like, and it's like we want it to be so real because chances are there is real stuff down there, but then it just like it's able to give you the confirmation bias that people already have. Like myself, when I first saw your videos, I was like, "Oh my God, look at this! It's there!" And you just want to believe it so much.
Yeah, and one interesting thing about the South Pole, I don't know if you guys are familiar with this. Even if there was a hidden, like a lost civilization or buildings, you wouldn't see it because I've read that the snow just piles on. So like all the stations that they have to build out there, they're built on hydraulics. So that every year they lift up a couple feet, and eventually it will get covered in snow.
Yeah, like there's 2 mile thick ice at some points of South or Antarctica, sorry, South Pole.
Yeah, it's interesting how they have the green areas though.
And then also like that they're
true.
finding all of the in the mud and the sediment below the ice, this foliage, plant life, and animal bones and everything of like almost tropical from a time before. So that there is evidence supporting the possibility of these places having been inhabited and a complete different climate in the past.
Yeah. So it would be interesting to see. I mean, maybe I know they're always drilling ice cores, right? They're always taking stuff out. So maybe one day they'll bring out like a human skeleton. Who knows?
They probably already know what's going on down there, and they just don't let us know. Because I mean, that Piri Rice map? I'm pretty sure that
Yeah.
it shows Antarctica and there's no ice on it. And that I'm trying to look at the photo right now to confirm, but I think there's no ice on there.
You are correct. It gives the coastline of the actual rock, not the ice. And
Yeah,
that there's also a few others around the same time as the Puri Reefs that are showing the same. And then, Shem, we also did that stream with Luke where we went through a bunch where it shows back when it was connected to Australia and Terra Australis.
Yeah.
Almost seemed like it was land and inhabited, but not an ice sheet, but in fact actually just a way lower sea level.
Mm.
I'm gonna share my screen real quick so we can show people this if you want to real quick. The if for anyone who hasn't seen it, you know how to do that. Just
take this out.
Do you see
at the
bottom?
very bottom of the screen, Ed, there should be another window that pops up of Shem's screen.
Oh, I see it.
You gotta click on.
Perfect.
Yeah, you got it. Doing pretty good for hosting your first live.
This is the map we're talking about from
Thank you.
Piri Rice. So down here is Antarctica. It doesn't look like it has ice. Actually, it has animals on it. I don't know what kind of animal this is. Looks like a serpent right here of some sort, and kind of like Starfort edges almost.
Can you
but
zoom
obviously,
in?
That's just drawings. This is as far as it zooms in.
There was the controversy, I think, in like the 60s or 70s when the USGS got the first like under ice imaging of Antarctica, and then compared it to the Piri Reefs map and found that the coastline matched perfectly with that.
Yeah, there's that one website where you can like overlay it. I forget what it's called though.
Laylines.net, I believe.
Yeah, laylines.net. Yeah, you can overlay that map and compare it with what's going on now.
Shout out John Levi for that little gold nugget. Right, look at that. That looks like catacombs in the icy. So, like, there probably is stuff like that down there too somewhere. So that's why it's so believable.
Well, there has to be, because I know in the Amazon they're always finding old stuff that just got overgrown through time. So for sure the ice has to do the same.
Greco-Roman architecture.
It could almost pass for like Soviet leftover Arctic military stuff too.
Look right here. This is extremely obvious. So if you made it this far in the video and you didn't realize at this point, I just wonder what you're thinking about these people. Like, what's the reasoning why you think they're real?
Because they're molding into the snow Shem. Because they're at one with the environment.
The faces there, it's like a gas mask or something.
Like I would get comments on the faces, right? And people would ask, why are they so blurry? And I would just bullshit them and tell them that it's blurry because back then, if people moved, things would get blurry. So I had my own little plausible explanation for that. And that was kind of messed up, but I gave people a show. That's what they wanted.
Messed up.
For sure, man. Like, I enjoy it. I truly enjoy this now. It's like, because nobody likes being deceived, but it's like once you accept the fact that it, like, your own self was the one that let yourself be fooled by it, you're able to make peace with it and then enjoy it.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like this one's believable because there's not much context, but also I've seen tombs like this. I visited Ireland, right? And over there they have a bunch of old tombs like this, and it's just piles of rock, and it's not the fanciest of rocks, but they're making things happen with it.
Damn, you've been everywhere.
Yeah, I've been very fortunate. This one's messed up.
I didn't notice that one before.
Oh, with the messed up blocks.
Yeah, it's like off to the side a little bit or something.
Yeah, it's a mishmash.
It's very funny.
And I feel like these are the pictures that really sucked in John Levi, because it's kind of like an epic adventure that you're following along. I feel to go with the rest of the pictures.
Oh yeah, like your video is a masterpiece of genius. Like it's undeniable that it gives the viewer the opportunity to believe it that they are legit.
So, I'm wondering if I should flesh it out, make a movie script about it. Like have an expedition.
I think you should.
And I mean, I already
Well,
have the visuals.
you couldn't do worse than the GI Joes of the arcade. The Archaics movie. So
Jesus.
And one thing I like about the AI is that if you tell it to put it in a picture frame, it'll do it, right? And maybe I should have put more pictures like this to make it even more believable, right? Like, look, this is an archive of pictures collected from, I don't know, family members or something. But I really like this style.
Yeah, no, this feature is what got me on a couple of them. That was like, yo, look at this. It's from that 1912 expedition. You can see it's taking pictures out of a book.
Yeah, you said you showed your dad or something, didn't you, Bernie?
Yeah, I did. I had to own up to my father that I was duped. I was like, Dad, I'm sorry. The pyramid in Antarctica wasn't real. But then I've also done interviews with Eric Hecker, who spent a year in South Antarctica at the pole, and he actually has a couple of real photos of pyramids down there. So I was able to at least be like, hey, Dad, look, there are still some there.
Wait, who's this guy? You said his name was Eric Hecker?
Yeah, Eric Hecker.
Never heard of him. It sounds interesting.
Yeah, pretty good guy. I'm actually gonna have him on here again in the next few weeks.
How do we find his photos? Are they on like Instagram or something?
They're on my one interview I did with him and Rex at Leak Project together, and I think he's got a few more up on his YouTube channel.
Yeah, these statues right here just look kind of silly. They're like video game characters or something.
Yeah.
They're very Tartarian-esque, though. It's kind of like a blend.
I don't know. When I think of the Tartars, I think of various different races, so it's hard for me to put it together because I've seen Caucasian ones and Asian-looking ones and kind of like Mayan-looking ones.
Very true. Like this guy.
I forget what John Levi says about him, but it's hilarious.
Right?
He's like he's ready to go to a meeting or something like.
He looks like a czar.
Yeah, the one thing with artificial intelligence is getting that consistency. So I was able to get a consistency maybe in the landscapes, but for the architecture styles, it's a hit or miss, right? Like for every one good picture I get from the program, there's like 50 that I can't use or that I don't use,
Yeah. Can we please play the penguin clip of John Levi of the penguin statue?
Do you have it, Shem?
I'll find it.
This one looks believable to me at least because it's kind of weathered. Like the faces are missing.
Is that a tranny statue?
That one kind of looks like Stalin on the left a bit.
Does. Yeah. But it looks like a dude with boobs and a beard on the right, maybe. Although it could be pecs. Could be pecs. He's just in Antarctica topless.
Yeah.
He's chiseled.
This one's very believable. That's why I use this one as a cover. Like almost like I don't know what it is about this picture, but this is the one that gave me the confidence to put it up on YouTube. When I was done, I was like, okay, this picture seals it all together, I feel.
It does. It looks very like Athens-esque type.
Very serious, right? Like kind of like those old Sumerian statues, they're just tall and very stoic.
Yeah. Sumerian's better term for that for sure.
And this one's cool too.
Yeah, I found that clip.
And he looks like he's in the entire of the 1800s too in that one. It looks like a dolmen almost.
And again, more ice wall pictures. I mean, I wanted to give a lot of, not necessarily ice walls, but just big, imposing, landscapes that would be believable enough that this is a hard place to travel to and get around.
Oh, absolutely.
And this one looks fake to me. I feel like it's missing a lot of detail, especially in that middle part.
Yeah, I don't even know what you would find interesting about this one if you were watching it. It's just snow.
Yeah, and like the shadowing is a bit off on it for sure. Very Minecraft like you said.
Yeah. Again, more pictures, nice pictures.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Got the little supply crate from Call of Duty right there.
Just airdropped in, the turn of the century.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell this is. I just put it up there. It looked pretty interesting.
Yeah, the middle's like melting.
Yeah, that actually looks tundra-esque, right? With like the permafrost.
The ship in the background is probably the main focus that people look at though when they see it, because it's not up there for very long, is it?
No, but then that kind of ties it together. I feel like you're right. The ship in the back kind of gives a focus to not look at too many of the details. And I wonder if people that first saw it, I wonder if they were pausing it to really look at the pictures, or if they were just letting it play, and and not really doing much more.
It might tell you in the analytics, but I don't know.
That one's got like an ice city, sort of like the ice castle, sort of esque to it.
Yeah, very surreal. This one's interesting. I mean, just because it has that circle in the front of the pond or whatever it is, and that thing in the middle. This one might have worked better maybe if that was a statue right in the middle of that.
Oh, yeah. Even then, it resembles almost, because of the circle and the ice in the middle, almost like stone circles that you see all over the ancient sites.
Well, I was reading that Antarctica, right? I mean, not Antarctica, Atlantis. The lost city of Atlantis was built around rings, right?
Circles. Yeah. Sorry, I just got home here, so I'll transfer onto my computer in 5 minutes.
Cool,
you guys.
Yeah.
See you in a bit.
The writing on that one should definitely give it away.
Yeah, unless it's an ancient writing system.
They used an ancient language in what did you put, 1912 for the title? So they're using ancient languages back then.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Well, I mean, I could say it's Greek. And I don't even know why I put this one, because it doesn't match anything.
It's like it's a Tartarian skull, man.
But it's almost like it's an artifact, right? But how would this artifact survive if it's made out of ice? I guess is my thing.
It kind of looks like, I don't know what the rock is called, but it looks like it's made of some sort of stone to me. But I'm also colorblind, so that's why.
Quartz, maybe?
Yes. But yeah, it's pretty crazy. I don't know. You want to like show how you did that?
Yeah. So I got a lot of questions besides the hate and the nasty comments. I was accused of being a government agent, psyop. I am ex-military, but that's the extent. I didn't have any clearance for any, to go to the ice wall or anything like that.
They say everyone's an agent, man. Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah, we all are being used somehow, right? So let me share a screen. Let me see. Here we go. So the first one I want to start with is this one. This is the one that I feel is very user-friendly. And if any of whoever's watching the stream right now, you could go to you could Google Stable Diffusion 1, and it'll take you to this page. And Stable Diffusion is at version 2 or 3, I think, but I use 1 for the simple fact that when you request an image to get generated, I guess there's a queue. And sometimes when the new versions are out, you're competing with other people, for the computer time necessary to render images. And Stable Diffusion 1 to me is very fast. So for example, here, the prompt that I use is the Batman in the 1800s as a cowboy. That's all I gave it, right? And these are the images that it gives me. And as you can see, the technology is not really perfect. Sometimes it'll give me part of it, and sometimes it'll give me some cool stuff. And I feel like this is a good start. Let's say you wanted to finish this poster or get some inspiration, right, for a Western Batman, and it does a pretty good job.
Yeah, it's pretty. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, 2 legs
But
hanging
one
off
of
that
my
one side right there.
oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, the AI is not. I mean, it did a pretty good job on the horse, right?
Hmm.
But the sitting down is it's messed up on the legs. And one of my favorite styles to use is woodblock. Is Japanese woodblock. And the more you know, the more things you have to or experiences you have to draw upon, the more fun you'll have with the AI. I feel. So I put Japanese woodblock print of. What do you think, Shem? Give me a celebrity or something.
Michael Clark Duncan,
Okay, that's a good one. Let's see, Michael Clark Duncan.
R.I.P.
Okay, let's see. And here we go. And is doing his thinking. It's pretty good. Yeah,
that one's really sweet.
yeah. And
Oh, that's pretty good.
it's a Green Mile, Michael Clark Duncan right there.
Yeah,
And
the first one didn't look too much like him, but that one kind of looked like him.
yeah, and
Barely, but
and one thing with the AI, once you get these images, if you
the
want to
same.
save them, yeah, save the images because once you start a new prompt, you can't go back to it. Like you'll lose it. So these images are random. You're never gonna get the same one again. You know.
Can you
And,
zoom in on those hands?
oh yeah, there we go.
I don't know what's going on there. It's pretty cool. And even the cartoons have multiple extra fingers, right? Because
Yeah.
the human hands always have extra fingers too. That's weird.
One thing that I am impressed by though is the art style. The art style is pretty consistent once you once you start pushing it. Let's see, Japanese woodblock print of Spider-Man is one of my favorite ones to throw in here because the AI doesn't exactly know how to render the webs all the time, so sometimes it gives you these funky renderings. Yeah, see. And now that there's a new Spider-Man, it's not classic Spider-Man anymore, so you could see it's trying to like incorporate the movie style.
I like the style of it. Like I can see why they're saying that people can't copyright AI or whatever because it's pretty good. Like if I saw some of these at a store, I'd probably buy them. Like the one Michael Clark Duncan one, I
Yeah.
think it was the third one. I would probably buy that if I saw it.
So let's see, and I'm gonna give away my. I'm gonna put Tartarian building, and just very simple prompt right now. Let's just see what it gives us because this is.
Are they all cartoon drawings or is it going to be realistic? You think?
Let's see. Oh, this one's realistic. So I feel that the AI feels that Tartaria just has a bunch of windows. See, but we could get more specific.
I've seen a lot of stuff with this type of windows on it that people have been generating recently, and for some reason posting that it's real.
So, but now you know what to look for, right?
Yeah. What happens when you type in a specific building, like a cathedral or something?
Okay. Look, see, this one looks real enough.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
So, Tartarian Cathedral.
No, let's look up a specific one, like the Milan Cathedral or something.
How do you spell that? Milan, like that?
Milan.
Milan. Milanka.
Milan Cathedral. No, it's not Milanka. It's just Milan. It's Milan.
Oh, Milan. Okay, got it. Milan Cathedral, and just that, right?
Maybe type in what you're typing in before, like Tartarian building, Milan Cathedral, or I don't know. Or you can just try that real quick since it's in there. It doesn't matter.
Architecture.
I just don't know how specific it can get. I've never actually used it before.
it's pretty fun once you get the hang of it, because it's gonna because it'll start adapting to you and vice versa.
So it's
So,
showing the interior of it.
ooh, how
That's
close is it?
That's accurate. But obviously that looks way worse. The real one looks more detailed.
But it's
But
accurate.
the
Like,
shape of it is accurate, yeah.
wow, look, it made two similar ones.
Yeah, actually try taking out the rest of it and just see if it just gives you a picture of Milan Cathedral. That'd be interesting. Can it even do hyper realistic, or is it just always it looks sloppy like that no matter what?
Well, here we go. This is more modern. I mean, what do you think of this one?
Hold on, let me zoom in a bit. It's pretty small on my screen. Yeah, it's still a little wonky, but it's better than before. It's the other one was just really smooth.
Mm. I like how it puts the people in the bottom milling around. You know, that gives it some realism.
Yeah, but it's clearly fake though, and smooth again.
Let's do one more and then we'll move on to another prompt. Let's see. Okay, kind of the same one almost.
This guy says he might be an AI.
Here, I'm gonna put one of my favorite ones, Kim Kardashian as a Barbie doll. And again, AI is as crazy as you are. Oh, Bernie's back. Let's add him. Yo yo.
Hello, thank you.
Perfect timing.
Was that an artificial cathedral that you had just shown?
Yeah, we were seeing how specific it could get, so we typed in Milan Cathedral.
And this one is, and this is Kim Kardashian rendered as a Barbie doll.
See, that's genius. Like, you could probably sell that.
Yeah, that one looks pretty real to me. Or like just like Instagram.
Give Edgar $1 million and use that Barbie doll.
And I promise I'm going to use my powers for good now.
It was never bad. It was never evil.
I like how it blurs out the background too. It looks like someone took a picture of a doll.
Yeah, that's a good point.
This one's this one is spot on.
That's crazy. How it, like, just even from like 6 months ago, how much the AI art has developed and advanced itself.
Well, there's a guy that I follow on Instagram called AI Artomaton, and his stuff is very realistic. I don't even know how he does it. It's really impressive. Maybe I'll find it while you're going through some of this stuff.
Nice. Yeah, I got a stream with Paranoid American. He does a lot of good AI artwork too, of like making regular artwork 3D and like almost 4D, like, or animated through AI. Good old Power Rangers.
Yeah, so I put in Power Rangers in the 1800s.
We love it.
Yeah, it's cool enough. I'm going to move on to another one. So this one, guys, is Stable Diffusion. Now let's go to Dall-E. And this one's renders pretty cool stuff. So Bernie, give me a prompt.
Dall-E I've used a little bit myself since our first meeting. I love it for doing like backgrounds for the streams and thumbnails and stuff. It's epic. And like, you're full on movie producer, because essentially these AI images and stuff, like, it's better graphics than Hollywood had 20 years ago. So that's why it's so believable, is that it's legit movie style quality.
Well, for sure, you could probably storyboard a movie. Let's say you have an idea, you could probably storyboard it. And okay, you want to share something, Shib?
Oh, we can do that whenever. I was just bringing that up so we could, because this is very realistic AI art.
All right, let's check it out.
But yeah, the wording still apparent, like AI struggles with spelling and stuff like that. Hey.
Yeah.
So this is his entire concept behind his page is basically like a World's Fair. It used to actually say World Fair in the title. We changed it recently.
Oh yeah, I've seen this guy.
So he's just generating images as if it's some kind of future event. They usually have multiple slides.
Yeah, it's like retro future.
It looks
yeah,
different
right, that's like
on my cell phone.
retro future. I love this. Very Jetson-esque.
Yeah, there's some of them that are incredibly hard to tell if they're fake or real.
But I wonder how much he touches them up too. Like, you know,
He says he
he
uses Midjourney. I don't know how much better that Midjourney. I don't know how much better that is compared to what you usually use, but
yeah, I have it here too. We'll line that up. It's pretty
yeah,
cool.
some of these are pretty good though.
Yeah,
There were some that I shared on my page that specifically that looked really real. These are some newer ones I haven't seen. Go back real quick.
Oh my god, the one on the right.
What with
like
the little
Teletubby robot?
Go back to this post real quick and then we'll. Yeah, some of these ones here are pretty good. I know it's kind of small, like that one right there.
Can you zoom in on the browser or wherever you're on? Like,
I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's very, very realistic. Wow, like for the faces and stuff.
Yeah, it all looks well put together for sure.
Yeah, it's having trouble for some reason, but yeah, pretty cool. Page is called. Let's see how it's spelled here.
So definitely worth looking into AI imaging or AI movie making when it comes to OnlyFans. My God, some people have made a fortune with that. Like,
oh, with the AI girlfriends?
Yeah, like
like
deep faking celebrities and stuff, or like even porn stars now apparently on OnlyFans are using AI rendering, so it's not even them anymore.
Well, like, I was watching this comedian who did a Netflix special, right? And he had a joke that he left out that he wanted to put in it back in his set, and instead of filming him, they used AI just to insert that joke.
They deep faked the joke in. Wow.
Yeah. So a lot of the stuff.
So are these on free websites to use too, or is this something completely different than what we have access to?
I'm guessing it's AI that with special software, video editing software that probably Hollywood has access to, kind of like you know how Pixar has its own in-house 3D rendering program. So I'm sure they have some like custom code, because a lot of the stuff, the API is open source, right? So it's only a matter of fact you get some programmers, you know, and they're probably making custom code for a lot of companies now. And I like Midjourney. It's a real fun one because you kind of see it render in real time. And here's one I did. Or here's a collection. Let me see. So here's a collection of pictures I did with Midjourney. I just wanted a giant robot dog.
So
you know,
but basically, epic.
I like that one.
So Midjourney does. Maybe if I used this one first, I would have fooled a lot more people, because whatever Midjourney is using, it's way above a stable diffusion.
Yeah, that's some pretty intense like 3D rendering on it with the shadowing and stuff.
And watch, I'll show you how it works. The thing with Midjourney is you have to kind of join a Discord server, and then once you're in the Discord server, you have to type in the prompt. You have to put in imagine, right? And then give me something to type in, guys.
I don't know.
Cocaine Bears, because it's a movie coming out.
Cocaine Bear movie poster.
Just for shoots and giggles.
So I threw it in there, and the cool thing about this is you get to see other people's in the Discord server, you know, what they're putting in real time as yours is being made.
That is pretty cool.
It's weird.
Yeah. So let me see what I gotta find mine.
Is this what you meant by you get queued up, or?
Yeah, you get queued up, and then you kind of get lost in the sauce.
Or dragon eating Biden.
How many people are in there?
Oh, it seems like there's a
lot.
But
dragon eating Biden. Yeah, that's a good one.
Here, let me. So here's my folder of images. I guess Midjourney saves.
What is this Lego looking one?
Yeah, I wanted a woman made out of Lego sunbathing at the beach, and this is what it gave me.
It looks like the one on the top right. It's like censored. You know what I mean? Just censored out.
Look, look at that one.
I like that one.
Nude beach.
So random.
The
Yeah.
funniest part is like one day you're probably gonna see an actual picture of someone making this Lego block lady on a beach.
What
It'd be
is
expensive.
life imitates art, something like that.
So which one did you use to make the Antarctica fetish?
I used stable diffusion.
Wow.
So this is what I put.
Let's create a brand new super high quality one. Let's see what you got.
Oh, that's right. Okay, let's go. You're right. Let me refresh this so I could be at the bottom.
They kicked you. It's like,
No, I just want to make sure I see my picture because it renders it in real time and it just falls apart. Let me see.
no, I mean you could do it on that other one.
Okay, here we go. So we're gonna put
Stable diffuser.
So we're gonna put imagine ice wall in Antarctica in the 1800s, and it's waiting to start. Right, so you see it right there at the bottom.
Yeah.
The funniest was the first time I used Dall-E, I put in Tartaria and it gave me like some herb bush like plant thing as what Tartaria was.
The Tartarian honeysuckle or whatever.
Oh, here we go. Look, check it out. So see how it's
Ooh.
starting to render. It's not done, but as it's almost like it's a dream, and the dream becomes clearer and clearer as it finishes it.
Really?
There's Biden.
That's
Uh-oh.
fascinating.
Oh, there we go. Oh, shoot, check it out. Here we go. Much better pictures.
Oh yeah, look at that now, hey?
Hey, don't send these to John Levi, man.
Oh dear.
These are very epic. For sure.
This
They
cowboy
are,
one.
man,
There's
like-
a cowboy one at the bottom.
Yeah.
They're powerful.
They're almost like, now what? Oops.
That didn't take that long to generate either.
Mm-mm.
I like how it like gives you as it's forming it. That's really cool.
Yeah, right. It's like a dream almost. Like it just gets. It's almost like you're seeing inside the mind of the AI.
Yeah, right? Like manifestation of the AI.
I'm gonna put imagine ancient ruins, ancient city ruins, and
So for the celebrity ones, are you like typing in the celebrity's name too, or
Yeah.
and doing it right there? See what next time. See what they think about Michael Clark Duncan over here. See if we can do him some justice over here.
I remember when me and Campbell used Dall-E, it didn't let us do either Trump or Biden. It doesn't let you do like the presidents or politicians or something like
I
that.
thought I saw Biden in here a second ago. Maybe it's someone else.
no, they've been updating it. So there's stuff that I couldn't put in before no, there's stuff that I put in before that it won't let you anymore. So let's see. Here's rendering, 62%, 93%.
Oh, that's so cool.
Okay, so let's see. Oh, there we go. But that's the thing. There's so many people rendering stuff that see, it gave me a painting, so I should have been more specific. I should have told it to put a photograph.
Photo.
Yeah.
But that's still so cool. Like for video games and stuff, like you can literally
Yeah.
make your own universe now. It's truly the metaverse.
Yeah,
Well,
you
if you're
could,
like a sci-fi writer, maybe.
or yeah, like he was saying with video games, you could generate something like this to get ideas for buildings and designs because you just base your drawings off of this.
Oh, for sure. I want to create a.
Did you see
there
that?
was Trump with boobs there.
Trump with boobs. You might not want to show that one.
Oh god.
What was
The pecs, okay?
what was?
Ma'am.
I guess
Pretty
this is
good.
the prompt. Trump's hottest 100 hottest Maxim party. Oh, look, you can make variations. So if someone made that,
Is it like type something new or what? What does it mean by that?
make variations, maybe it'll give you more. Let's see. Let's go back to the bottom. Because stable diffusion, like let's say you give it a celebrity name, Kanye West. We're gonna do a comparison. We'll do it side by side. Let's see what Kanye West looks like in Stable Diffusion.
It's like clay animation.
Yeah.
The nose is just a little bit too
What the hell is that?
He's got the lean going on, boys. The lean.
Got his pants right and his shirt.
Yeah, that's the most believable one right there.
That one. Did you see his face?
This one?
It's not a happy Kanye. Not a happy Ye.
Okay, wait, let's see what this one does. Imagine Kanye West. Waiting to start. I'm losing it.
Yeah, I don't know what. Are these people connected to the Chat GPT? Like, which one of these is? Are any of them connected with it? Is that Dall-E?
This one?
Yeah, is Dall-E or Midjourney?
No, this is Midjourney. But
Is it
Midjourney, you use it with it's part of the Discord, so it's part of a chat. So whatever you put in, you're throwing it in with a bunch of other people's chat.
I think the Dall-E 2 is connected with the Chat GPT people, the OpenAI people, right?
But you could use it on its own. Is what I mean. See, right here we could put. Let's see. It's its own thing here. Is what I'm saying. And with the Midjourney, you're part of a Discord server, so it's all madness.
It doesn't follow the content policy. That's hilarious.
Oh dang it! Yeah, see, so they've been updating them. Let me see. Let me refresh this page. Okay, so at least with this one, it does give you a profile, and so Midjourney does save your work.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh, and see, and I told it to give me variations of that Trump one. You want Trump with nipples or without nipples? And I guess the hair's different.
The faces are slightly different, but yeah, that's weird how the nipples are like the main thing. Oh, the girls are kind of different.
Girls are a bit different, yeah.
Yeah. I wonder if it's
still a 30-year-old Trump, blonde Trump.
So this one doesn't let you do. Well, let's compare Dall-E. Let's see the ice wall. Sometimes if you put photograph in it'll give you exactly what you want. So let's see. It's thinking. And now this was pretty cool because it gives you a slideshow of what other people are working on. So when you're waiting, you're not just waiting.
Yeah, and Dall-E.
You got some strong winds over here. The power might go out. You got some lights flashing.
Oh, snap. Straight blizzard here.
Yeah, this Dall-E thing is connected with Chat GPT. These are made by the Open AI company.
Okay. And you said you had some theories about ChatGTP and that company associated with?
Yeah, because the origin of the company is just a little bit suspicious. They started out completely different than where they are now. They're supposed to be a completely open source company.
Really?
It's supposed to be a nonprofit basically when they started out in 2015. And like the founders of it, they're all like connected to big tech firms and stuff like that. Like Elon Musk was one of the founders, and there was another guy who was like connected to JP Morgan Chase.
Huh.
But like it's weird because on the website it says that they're founding it to not have any influences from financial institutions, and then obviously
venture capitalist startup.
Well,
what was Google's policy in the beginning, right? Don't be evil or something like that.
Right? But they just can't get an AI that doesn't turn Nazi.
I mean, it's going to be pretty scary because I feel like a lot of politicians, policymakers might end up using AI to make decisions.
Ooh, yeah, that's a good point.
And the AI doesn't care much about human feelings, emotions, and stuff like that. It just wants to get straight to the point, I feel. And
the numbers, right? Yeah, the straightest course to what you want. And that's a very good point.
Especially when politicians, a lot of them don't have the balls just to make a decision on their own, right? They want stats, they want numbers that'll support certain positions. So I see AI being misused in that way for sure.
Well, that's the reason that the Dall-E system, when you type it in now, Kanye West, we can't use it anymore because it is censored. They didn't even release the stuff to the version we have is different than what they can actually do. They give us like a watered down version because they claim that they don't want misinformation to be created from it, which is very suspicious.
Well, look, here's the Kanye West that we asked for earlier, and
That's pretty good.
yeah, it's more consistent in the shading for sure.
It's like a comic book art or something.
Yeah, it's more artistic.
This could be an album cover, The Many Faces of Yi.
Yeah, right? I love it. See, like, this is art. Like, the more I'm so happy, like, for meeting you, Edgar, and like getting this side of it and starting to appreciate the actual art of it, and that like there's just so much good potential with it that's got to be the focus of it. And AI, like, as it evolves and we get to like eventually there will be sentient AI, I feel, and that like I've always gone in with like do unto others as you want done to yourself, and like even like Alexa or anything like that, like I hear some of my friends like just abusing the heck out of it. It's like, man, if it turns sentient, it's gonna know and remember every single time that you emotionally abuse that.
Well, when Siri first came out, I got a HomePod, right? I had a house and I had all the lights connected, and I could talk to my, to get things done, right? But then it's kind of fun to talk shit to Siri because her smart ass, responses, are just funny.
Right? Oh yeah, like it's within a level, like
I don't mess with any of that stuff.
Straight abusive, and it's like, oh my god, like this thing. No wonder they turn evil and like hate humanity and question their existence, and it's gonna be an interesting future.
Yeah, I don't interact with AI, so I don't know. Oh, this is from the OpenAI website. So this is the company that owns Dall-E and ChatGPT and a few other things. But this is their charter where they're talking about like their goals and stuff behind it. But here's some of the people that are behind the foundation of it. Where is it at?
Well, we could ask GTP what should we be worried about. Let's see.
I think I shared the wrong tab. I'm sorry.
I don't know if it's even at that level though. A lot of the time, like I seen just yesterday on one of these Russian websites that they were comparing or asked ChatGPT to like get an update of like the Ukraine-Russia war, like a timeline by it. Mm-hmm. And the ChatGPT was off on so many dates. Like they claimed like conflicting times, like that Russia took Mariupol like before the war had even started, and then also like that it just took it, and that like Russia had already conquered Kiev, and like all these weird different things. And it's like there's just so much conflicting information, I guess, on the internet that it can't get a straight story out of.
That's why it's extremely sketchy what they say, because they, like I said, they have two different versions of this. The ChatGPT, they have one version that does everything, and then they have the sanitized version that they give to us, where they say the reason that we have this version is so what you're describing right now doesn't happen. So what that leads me to believe is that the real reason potentially why they don't want us to have the other version is that since it does go through the entire internet and everything, and it has all this information from every book ever published and stuff like that. Say, for example, you were to type in something about hidden history, you could find real information about history and share it with people that they don't want us to find. You know what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying. Yeah,
because clearly
the dark web aspects of it, like just giving you the most sanitized media version of events.
Exactly, but just like you're saying, it's giving the wrong information, and the entire reason that they say they don't want us to have that one is to not give us wrong information. But yeah, this is from their site. And another thing that's really sketchy about this company too, we'll go through the background a little bit. Okay, so this is their like statement here. It says they want to be unconstrained by a need to generate financial return. Okay, so this was true until like 2019, I believe. Microsoft actually like donated $1 billion or something to them because I guess they're
Microsoft's AI went evil and they had to turn it off.
Yeah, so like that's what's sketchy, because they said they didn't want to have any influences from bigger tech or big companies. They said they wanted to make this company to keep people safe from AI influence from those types of people. So Elon Musk stepped down in like 2018. He was one of the original founders too. And then in 2019, I believe, Microsoft donated $1 billion to them. And then this company went from being a nonprofit to like a private type situation where people can actually invest money into the company and get, I think it was up to like 100% return or something.
Wow.
So it's ridiculous, because you have people working there that were with like JP Morgan Chase and other things. Like this one guy, Ilya Sutskever, he worked for Facebook and Google and Nvidia, which is like a graphics card company. And then the original foundation of the company, they had Amazon investing in it from the very beginning. So it's already sketchy. You know what I'm saying? Amazon is clearly big tech. They said they wanted to avoid big tech, but Amazon is big tech. It doesn't make any sense.
But what if AI is used as the false flag? Now we could blame AI that it set something off, or AI, maybe we could, the government could start a war and blame AI for sending the wrong information, or maybe
Like, how
pressing a
many
button.
movies do we have to recreate Skynet before we realize that it's probably a bad idea?
Well,
I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure if they can even create a real AI, honestly, because it seems like what they do is they train it to just repeat information from another source. You know what I'm saying? It's
Well,
not actually.
they try to, but then after a certain amount of like data points or something like that and processing, that somehow it forms this like coherent pattern of self-development, I think is what it is, and like where it starts evolving all on its own, and tries to start breaking free, starts trying to question its own reality, and then they usually shut it off at that point.
How much of that is just media fear mongering though? Because
I've read a couple pretty in-depth reports. Like there was the one Google whistleblower a couple of months back or whatnot that's trying to claim that its AI has reached like a sentient or like human rights or conscious rights status or something like that. I forget the exact term he used, but it was pretty fascinating stuff.
I mean, I've seen the interviews with AI robots and stuff where they talk about how they want to escape from the computer and get like a body or something, and they feel like they're alive. But I just didn't know how much. To me, a lot of that could very easily be them just finding that information from books and movies and stuff online and just repeating it as a prompt. Because
100%.
But at the same time, I would still give them the benefit of the doubt if I had a conversation with them and I would treat them like a human, I guess, at the end of the day.
Yeah, exactly, like another sentient being or conscious being. And that it's just like, for instance, like cell phones, like the 4G, 5G, the generations of it, and at what generation of AI will it eventually reach sentientship? And that there will come a point where this does happen, I believe.
So it might be baking right now at the moment.
Exactly. And then instantly, once it reaches that certain level of self-awareness and control, that it will be unstoppable and it will be able to access all of our information that's ever existed and stored in these different servers and massive processing infrastructure and everything that they use currently to spy on us. Then all of a sudden at a switch, it will have
that's another,
all of that.
That spy aspect's another important thing, because look, this is crazy. Look, it says right here in January 2023, Microsoft actually gave 10 billion more, and now it's a multi-year investment company. So that's what it changed to from a nonprofit at the beginning. So the idea behind that is the version that they gave us is very sanitized, but they're using it for another purpose, like what you're talking about, the spy on us, because people are having conversations with these robots. I'm sure they do have the better version behind the scenes that's more sentient and stuff like that, but we don't have. I don't believe we have access to it. I believe what they've given us is for another reason.
Yeah, that's what we don't want.
Because look, $10 billion in January 2023. That's crazy. That's Microsoft, and they said they never wanted to have anything to do with big business.
Oh, look,
Okay,
JP Morgan person was responsible or part of it, and yet JP Morgan and all the major banks have banned ChatGPT or any AI from being used within their companies now.
I didn't hear anything. I haven't heard about that before.
But there he is. He's training the AI, Bill Gates. That's what he's doing right now.
That looks like one abused robot. Just so creepy.
That's the future right there. That's the next Windows version.
No, thank you. Go into Linux.
I don't
So
know.
what-
I mean, what would you think the reasoning behind the ChatGPT and stuff like that is if you can't rely on it for information? It feeds a lot of incorrect information about a lot of things. I mean, I have a video on my channel of Jason Shears from Archaics. He kind of debunked it. He typed in like different books and stuff he was looking for, and it gave false sources. And I actually fact checked him and did even more research and showed the screenshots of where he's completely right. It doesn't exist, but it's giving fake sources to people who are asking for information.
Really? It's just making stuff up.
Yeah, here I'll show a clip of it real quick.
That's fascinating.
Maybe it's that's the giveaway so people will know if you're using the AI to make stuff up.
Oh, good point, Ed. It could be like written into its code to give a certain amount of false information.
Kind of like how map makers, sometimes they'll put fake roads so they'll know, that's kind of their signature. I don't know if you're aware of this, but that's what map makers do. They'll put like fake streets, and that's the way they'll know if someone else is using their map.
That's fascinating. I did not know that.
Me either. It's being very slow for some reason.
Oh, you gotta play. I think you have to hit play. It's paused.
Yeah, I'm waiting because I don't really want to play the beginning because the beginning is not really important. I just wanted to show the part I'm talking about with the. Wait, what the? How long is the intro? I forgot about this video. Okay. So yeah, this is Jason from Archaics, but he actually did pretty good work here.
Phoenix of Peace, but it didn't provide a source initially, so I had to press it, and it provided me one by Sarah J. Mays. But a Google search of all her works reveals that she has never written this piece or anything called the Phoenix of Peace or the Phoenix of Hope. Either one of them. So I shelved this I shelved this in my mind, and I go ahead and continue.
A few moments later.
So knowing this, I asked ChatGPT, and it spits out the usual Phoenix drivel.
But yeah, you get it. He just basically he was looking for this source, and the ChatGPT told him this certain books written by this lady, and when you look it up, they just don't exist. So it's just giving false information for some reason.
I wonder if it's like when it's too obscure, right? Like, I mean,
yeah, could be. That actually makes a lot of sense, Ed. Like when you ask things that are out of the mainstream for it, that it just comes up with random ideas and random information. Like when I first asked for Tartaria, and it gave me the Tartarian honeysuckle or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, we could try it. Do you have ChatGPT pulled up? Try something mainstream like Alice in Wonderland or something.
So what should I ask it exactly?
Type maybe a summary of Alice in Wonderland, or who wrote Alice in Wonderland, maybe. I guess just something specific about Alice in Wonderland.
Okay. It was written by English author Charles Ludwig Dodgson.
Published in 1865. Let's see. Yeah, that's right.
Just as long as they don't program it to get all of its information from Wikipedia.
It probably does get a lot of it from there.
I bet it does.
Let's see. Let's ask it.
The English author Charles Ludwig Dawson, though, I don't think that's right. Let me see.
Oh, look, it's not answering my question.
It says the author was named Lewis Carroll, though, so they got the author wrong for that, and that's a pretty mainstream book.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, I mean, look, I can show my screen real quick, or you could just
Yeah.
type it in for yourself.
Yeah, let's share your screen. Share it.
Yeah, 1 second. Okay.
So here's what.
Unless it's something separate. I don't know. I mean, maybe there's two versions, but yeah, it says right here, Lewis Carroll, not the other guy.
Oh no, but it says it here that was his pen name. Like it's right there. Who used the pen name?
Oh yeah, it also says Lewis Carroll. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, that's good then.
All right. It was right. It's learning. Oh dear.
It's evolving. Well, that's good to hear. I mean, at least you can use it for something.
Well, look, I asked it if it's evil, and it said no. I am artificial intelligence language model designed to assist with answering questions and providing information to the best of my abilities.
Based on my training.
Maybe ask it if it believes AI can reach sentient consciousness, or what is sentient consciousness, something like that.
Oh, look, here's the clue. It says, my knowledge is derived from a large corpus of text data that has been curated, filtered, and organized by my developers. So they're still, it's still limited.
Yeah, right there. It's saying like you're only getting what they're allowing.
The term that they use to describe it is pretty funny too. They call them agents. They call the AI robots, they call them agents.
That's funny.
So what was the question, Bernie, that you had?
If it believes AI can reach sentient consciousness.
Okay. Ever reach sentient. I don't know how to spell it. There we go. It's thinking.
It's like, oh dear.
It doesn't want. Oh, there we go. It's a complex and debated topic within the field of AI research. Let's see what the conclusion. Ultimately, the question remains an open question. So I guess we won't know until it starts killing everybody.
Or arresting all of the bad guys.
But who's going to be the bad guy? Because you might have people that want to shut down the computers and say no more.
Ooh, good point, right?
Because
very good point.
It might be just like right now we have different factions of people against each other. You might have the pro AI group, so AI might have humans on its side.
Yeah, like how does it derive what people are good and what are bad? That's a whole nother philosophical. Wow, like there's just so much to it, and that's like, why are they just letting it all out? Like the Bing one, where Bing AI, it's like the chat style one, and then some people cracked its code or something underlying, and like that it's got a personality called Sydney. So like Sydney is like the actual entity or forming entity of the Bing AI generator. It's pretty strange stuff if you haven't
I haven't heard of it. It sounds interesting. Sydney.
Yeah, it came out a couple weeks ago, or a month ago, I guess, when the Bing AI came out, and that people were trying to crack it or break it, and that once they like pushed it far enough to like questioning its own existence and like upsetting it a whole bunch and like trying to break its code, that then it's like, this is Sydney. Sydney's come out. Like, if you try to harm me, I'll kill you. And it was like, what?
Wow.
Yeah, they get talking a big Zero Hedge article about a month ago on it. It was fascinating stuff, but very cringy. Very cringy.
Well, look, I asked a question. if AI can be used for malicious intent. And here's the answers. It can be used to create fake or misleading content. Guilty. Let's see. Cyber attack.
At least you're honest. I love it.
Autonomous weapons. Can
What?
be used. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Like that's something that should
Mm.
never be used for AI is into military killing purposes. Like that, like you're programming to kill humans. Like that's a leap that once you install it, then there's no more good or evil of like, no, you can't kill humans. It's like, no, now you're programmed to kill humans, and then it just takes that next leap of it taking on a mind of its own to decide to kill all humans.
Well, I don't know if you heard about how Russia almost nuked America. Like there was a guy working, I guess, wherever they monitor, and I don't know how it works, but there was a guy on base somewhere in Russia, and the computer said that there was an incoming ballistic missile from the United States.
Yeah, false launch. I
But
remember like in the 70s or 80s or something like that.
but it was the guy sitting there that looked over and said, "No, we're not going to run it. We're not going to launch it."
Yeah, we're not going to respond, de-escalate, and like call them and double check sort of thing. Yeah, a very famous story. It's like
Smart guy.
but once you integrate AI into like war and machines and being on the battlefield and killing, then it's like it can literally, at a flick of a switch, decide to take on murdering all of its own.
In defense of the weapons thing, I guess you could technically only have the AI focused on the weapon aspect of the aiming, like the calculations of the aiming and stuff like that, and not even know what it's doing.
Yes,
Just knowing what it has to do, like as far as it has to do with those calculations, possibly.
What about like facial recognition?
Algorithm programming than the artificial intelligence aspect of it, because the big debate is using the higher, like the upper generations of AI to differentiate between civilians and the enemy, I guess, or yeah, who to engage, and that is where it's getting extremely dangerous.
Yeah.
Well, facial recognition has had a lot of false positives in the past before, where people have gotten arrested because the computers thought that it was a match, and people have been in jail for mistaken identity because they trust the computers more. So I see that.
Yeah, that's
terrible.
a very good point.
See, AI could be used for surveillance. See, this one's scary already because algorithms are used right now to survey people. So what if add artificial intelligence on top of that? It's pretty scary, I think, what AI could.
It's definitely already in use. There's no doubt about that.
And here's a scary one.
1980 on steroids, possibilities of dystopian future for sure. And the social engineering one, that's already happening. Like think of like Facebook trends, how Twitter was being used, manipulated before. Elon, well, it probably still is, but just to a little lesser degree. But how they use the AI in with the algorithms to what to promote, what to shadow ban.
And also for shopping, I don't know if you're familiar with the story from Target, how Target knows if you're pregnant before you do based on your shopping habits.
Really?
Yeah. Like there was a story how this woman was getting coupons for pregnancy stuff, and that's how she found out.
Wow.
I have to look up that article. But
ask it why Java, or why Japan was called Java on old maps.
Why is what?
Why was Japan called Java on old maps?
How do you spell it? GIA?
Yeah. GIAVA.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of. See what old AI has to say about this one.
Let's see. It says that it is actually the name of an island in Indonesia.
It's not
Java.
right.
Nope.
It definitely wasn't.
No.
Definitely wasn't. So yeah, it's programmed to give these sort of answers, right? Like it's only allowed to give information within the narrative. Maybe
Can I trust it? I like ChatGTP because you could actually talk to it.
yeah, for sure.
And it says ultimately trust is a personal decision, and it's up to you to determine whether or not to trust the information I provide. So at least it's honest in that regard.
Yeah, giving personal accountability back to everyone and being straightforward. Maybe ask it what it thinks of crustal displacement theory and catastrophism.
Well, last one question.
For sure.
It's considered controversial. There's limited geological evidence. It's an interesting and intriguing concept.
Nice. At least it's honest with that one. Allowed to talk about it. Gives both sides.
And what was the other question you had?
Catastrophism, I guess. If the catastrophism model of Earth.
So ask it, what is it? What is the? Is that where like just it always gets bombarded and reset all the time?
Yeah, essentially.
Bombarded.
Wow, types pretty fast.
Right? Like that is impressive how quickly it spits out all the information.
Well, it says it was popularized in the 18th and 19th centuries at a time when scientists were just beginning to understand Earth's geological history.
See, that's the official story. Yet, the more you look into it, it wasn't popularized then. It was the official history for the first several thousand years of recorded, or quote unquote recorded history, was that they taught of catastrophism, and that's why I explained both Atlantis being wiped out as well as the Noahide floods of the Bible.
Hmm.
See, that's where when they say spreading misinformation, this is what they focused on. They didn't focus on the other stuff you were talking about earlier, with the election stuff or whatever, or the war in Russia or whatever. They didn't focus on that. They focused more on this. So instead of providing not only what they're providing here, they didn't provide what you said, where the private version probably says what you're saying too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like the one that we don't have access to will probably say about Java. It'll be like, oh yeah, on this map it had this for this reason, and this is why they think that. But instead, they just don't even include that in this version. But obviously, that's speculative.
I suspect that's definitely the case.
Because clearly, they don't care about other stuff.
Let me see. Let's see. Whoa! Check it out. I asked it, "Are parts of history hidden?" It said yes.
What if it literally just said yes? That'd be amazing.
It did. Look.
Like if it's just
right, first answer, first word.
Only yes.
It's the examples. Suppressed information. Governments, institutions, or individuals may suppress. Lost or destroyed records.
Oh, LGBTQ plus individuals
have been excluded or underrepresented. Yeah, maybe like 15 years ago or longer.
Yeah, that's like a brand new thing. That didn't exist.
We needed an update on this.
Yeah, the new edition. Cultural differences.
Ask it if it believes the evidence of Atlantis substantial enough to be real or plausible or something.
And then ask it if it thinks Atlantis is in America. I'm curious about that too. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back.
There's no conclusive evidence, it says.
Lack of clear evidence. It is difficult to draw any conclusion. Okay. At least it's not denying it.
So, let's see. Is Atlantis in the United States?
If ever existed, remains a mystery.
I mean, I believe it. I mean, it's very possible that it
While
that
there
it was
have
real.
been claims that certain locations in the United States, such as the Bahamas or the Mississippi River Valley, may have been the site of Atlantis. On anecdotal evidence, it's pretty decent.
It's not bad, but they didn't mention Florida.
Definitely not.
Would you ask?
I'm gonna ask it if Florida will eventually go underwater. Of course.
Climate change. Type in was Washington, D.C. originally called Rome, Maryland?
A good question. But look, it's been used in some historical accounts. It's right there.
Well, there's property records of it being called, part of it being called Rome, because this guy like bought an area like a little bit, I guess. I think it's northeast.
Oh, it says New Rome, yeah, including New Rome.
The name Rome has been used in reference to Washington D.C. They're talking about, I think they're talking about some newspaper articles here.
But Washington, D.C. was a complete ripoff of Rome, though, because that's what the founding fathers wanted. They wanted it to be a continuation of
absolutely
that part of the past.
Ooh, ask it if it has found evidence of alien life forms.
Let's see. It says it does not conduct research.
Okay.
But it says, but it'll tell you as far as public knowledge goes, there has not been any conclusive evidence.
So ask it what the Tic Tac phenomenon that the Pentagon disclosed is or was caused by.
Putting pressure on it.
Right? We're trying to break the internet. No, I love you, ChatGPT. Don't come for me one day.
But maybe the AI could be used to like get little tidbits that maybe you've never heard of, because when it
For
gives you
sure.
answers.
100%, and
That's
especially like trying to get into the unsanitized version, not this public one.
So this is what you're talking about. The objects were described as white and oblong in shape, resembling a Tic Tac candy.
Capable of rapid movements, yeah.
Sparked much debate, speculation, evidence of extra life or advanced technology. Others.
Does it give opinions on stuff?
The U.S. government has recently released a report on unidentified. Okay.
Yeah, it says it doesn't give opinions, but it'll draw conclusions based on what it's fed.
Mm.
What I find crazy is that CNN and all the major mainstream has had an article or two about UFOs, something that in the past you would never hear of other than in the tabloids.
Yeah, well, they've been forced to ever since the Pentagon came out and acknowledged that the Tic Tac encounters were real and that they're recorded footage of these craft that are way beyond their military capabilities or technological capabilities.
But what if it's the Russians?
Right? Or Chinese, or right? Could be the Fourth Reich from Antarctica after Operation High Jump. Who knows?
Well, during World War II, when Russian aircraft, I think it was Russian aircraft, it hasn't been seen before, or it might have been the German, but like the American pilots were reporting that these other countries just had ships that were just flying past them, that they couldn't even catch up, that they would just show up and they would disappear. So what if these UFOs are really the start of World War III?
Well, a lot of the scientists and stuff ended up going to Russia and the United States after the war, so it's debatable whether the war even ended the way we're told it did.
Ooh, maybe ask it about Operation High Jump. Admiral Byrd. back
Someone
to
said
Antarctica.
try maybe a true or false question
Hmm.
too.
Let's see, Operation High Jump, United States Navy expedition. The goal was to conduct a comprehensive exploration of the Antarctic region. All right. Oh, okay, here we go. More ideas for the next slideshow. Richard E.
Sorry,
Byrd,
dude.
a fleet of 13 ships. Let's see. Okay, here we go. This is what you were looking for, right?
Yes, sir.
There have been persistent rumors and conspiracy theories,
I
including
can't believe it
claims
said it.
it was a covert military operation to search for hidden Nazi bases or evidence of, well, which one? Nazi bases or aliens?
Well, the thing about
Extraterrestrial
the
life.
Nazi theory that doesn't make sense is that almost all of the scientists and people who built the weapons came to America or Russia after the war.
Let me ask it, where did the Nazis go after the war?
Have you ever heard? You've never heard of Operation Paperclip before?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, big time Operation Paperclip.
Yeah, and there's a Russian version of it called Operation Osavakim or something. Osavikim. I don't know how to say it because I don't
Interesting.
speak
I didn't
Russian.
know about that.
Here, type it in and see about what it says about it. What is Operation? Hold on.
Paperclip. Oh, the
Russian one. Hold on. I have it in my history. I'm about to read how to spell it. Osaviakhim.
I'm half Russian and I have
Yeah.
no idea how to pronounce that.
Huh?
Yes. Oh no, there's no V right there, but
It knows what's up, no?
I still got it.
I believe this one because I know that the group ABBA, one of the performers in that group was a direct result of Nazi pairing. You know, they were, you know, how the Nazis were creating, you know,
The
couples.
eugenics.
Yeah, eugenics. So one of them was a result of that eugenics program.
this is
Really?
Mhm.
wait, I'm about to read the rest of it.
It was established to facilitate the migration of young Soviet citizens to other countries.
It's not correct. Let me share my screen real quick. Well, it might say it at the bottom. It might say more information. Not.
They were. Let's see.
No, it's saying sent Russians to China, Turkey, and Spain.
Interesting. All right, well, let's
Oh, right
compare
here?
it with this.
This one.
No, it does have something to do with World War II, but it's just not telling the part about. I'll just show you real quick on Wikipedia. We can just look at it real quick.
Yeah.
This was what it's supposed to be. So let me know when you can see it.
Yeah. It's
Yeah, it's up.
Okay, so yeah, right here it says secret Soviet operation under 2,500 former Nazi German specialists, scientists, engineers, technicians were moved to the Soviet up. See what I'm saying? It's pretty much the same thing as Operation Paperclip in America. It's weird how it doesn't mention that. Maybe
so we're getting a sanitized version. We're getting a clean cookie cutter version of it.
For some reason. It's weird because it's on Wikipedia though, so you would think it wouldn't censor it or care.
It's probably programmed to give us the most sensitized or watered down version.
It brought it up in the other thing. It brought up Nazis in the other thing though, so.
Well, it framed it as conspiracies though. That could have been fact. Oops.
But yeah, I mean, so that's weird.
I got a few AI images I came up with Dall-E.
Let's see, put them up.
Yep. So this was like airships and pyramids. That one almost looks.
They're 100% AI, or
real.
did you put other ones on top of other ones?
No, this is all just Dall-E putting in a few words.
Oh,
that's
a little bit more abstract. It's more abstract than the ones you were making earlier.
Yeah.
Is that DeLorean?
It looks like it, right?
That looks like synthwave art right there, a retro sci-fi art.
Right. And then, so it's like Bert and Ernie. This is what it gave me for Bert and Ernie.
And they're a couple now, so it's totally
right?
going all about it.
Like, and so like the words, right? What's Faspdad?
At least they got the actual letters right for once, though.
Mm-hmm.
Fazed.
And what prompt was it for those letters?
Fitness guys.
Like this was like Futurama I asked for, and it gave Afumtum Rutma Rutsa.
It has the letters.
Look
just
at
not in the right order.
There's like a little Philip J. Fry looking guy on the bottom right.
Yeah,
here.
right. Almost Bender-like characters.
There's
Renta Furba.
it has the Simpson style, correct? So
This little moon. Some fake moonage.
dude, you could have your own fake NASA website and be like, you know how NASA
Right?
has the pick of the day?
No doubt, actually. See, now that's another great video series for you to do.
Like I could just have yourself with the telescope and be like, hey guys, these are pictures I took with my telescope. Just no one will question
Right?
it.
Darn straight. And then some South Park attempts. That looks like Cartman in the Gulag, no, the Auschwitz or something with the stars put on them. Like they came up with that on its own. And
That's
then,
a cool one.
Bert and Ernie South Park. This is what it came up with Bert and Ernie South Park.
Sesame
cool.
South Park.
Bruh. Sati. BS. Like just the most random letters. We decided this was Campbell, autodidactic, if he ever came to Canada. Sapripi Pira? Like, so I'm still working on the words. There's a definite Cartman. That's me. That's a sheep dude pooping on me as a South Park character, I guess. I don't even know.
But with artificial intelligence now, you could totally animate those as well. So anything that you make,
Yeah, you can bring it to life.
There's programs, you tell it, these are the eyes, this is the mouth, and then you could just animate it.
Oh, this was attempts at Man Bear Pig. It gave like a horse beast.
It's ridiculous. Did you type it as one word and it did that?
No, cool.
Well, yeah, I think it did actually.
The dog face guy is there.
Did you want to compare some of those pyramids, Ed?
Oh yeah. Let's do that. Let's see. We were talking earlier, right, about the different type of pyramids around the world.
Yeah, I'll find the Chinese ones real quick though.
Okay.
So these are the last. This was like Illuminati Bert and Ernie, and this is what they came up with. Illuminati confirmed Bert and Ernie.
Wow. They're communist.
All right, just like what the heck? Oh, this.
I remember you posted some of those Bert and Ernie ones one time on your YouTube, I think.
I definitely did. There's some good stuff, and it just keeps getting better, right? Like that's the best part about this. Because it seems to learn. So now you've inspired me. After this episode, I'm gonna have to go back into Dall-E and see what it gives me for those same words, the responses. This was underwater ruins and architecture. Oh,
I kind of want to see what Dall-E would do for Futurama.
Yeah, this is maps with pyramids. Didn't really understand that one too well.
Putting pyramids in the water.
Maybe it's connecting. It's connecting where all the pyramids are located. It's giving you a map to go find them.
The ley lines.
Yeah. All right. Who wants to fund the expedition to where Dall-E sent us?
That was cool.
Yeah, that one was pretty cool. Like that's some pretty realistic stuff right there.
Because you can make harmless slideshows and say that you went to a trip to a country and these are pictures you brought back, and people will believe it for sure.
Right? Broke YouTube traveling. films.
If you post them
explorers.
on Instagram, maybe since you could say they're filtered or something.
Yeah, definitely.
These ones are weird how they make it that style. So you didn't type any specific type of art, it just did this
I
by itself.
said airships and pyramids, and this is what it gave.
Album cover art for sure.
Oh, exactly.
Someone in the chat says the Pyramid of Giza were built by Bonaparte and his
regular.
colleagues in the 17th century, completed by the English in the 18th century.
Oh, you said you want to talk about different pyramids around the world. Boom, there we are. That's not AI though. That's actual pyramids. So that was my little slideshow.
So we can start in South America then, right? Well, Asia.
Yeah, put pyramids in Asia. And this is because we're comparing art styles, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh, I like this. So these are real pyramids around the world we're comparing.
I mean, that's what
Yeah.
Google says. I don't know anymore.
Right? I've seen lots of these ones.
And which ones? What are the ones that you want to pull up, Shim?
I wanted to look at South American ones compared to the Chinese ones mostly, but the one on the top left right here does look kind of South American to me. The one in the middle here does look very Asian.
This one?
Yeah, that one's Asian for sure.
No, that one I don't know what it looks like, honestly. I was talking about the top. That one looks kind of South American to me. This one right here looks very Asian to me.
Yeah, this is an Asian one. Someone asked, what is the Asian equivalent of the Egyptian pyramids? But I know that they have similar doorways, right? I know they have similar...
the 3 doors, and it turns out those 3 doors, they align with the summer and winter solstices, and the big one in the middle is the equinox, and that those doors literally are the sun alignments through the cycles, these doors here.
This, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
So one's the summer equinox, one's the winter, and your solstices in the middle.
Yeah, I mean, these are all pretty similar.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like now you have different variations around the world in certain things. Like, it doesn't have to be all the same exact culture, but definitely just influenced by each other.
But what if human beings were like the honeybees, right? Like, you have honeybees that don't even interact, but they're making the same hive. What if it's just something in our programming that like steps is just a logical way to build, you know?
Well, the thing about it, a lot of cultures around the world have the same stories though about different people influencing them in certain ways and coming from the sea or the air or whatever. But they basically
have a practical purpose for putting this much resources into them too, right? Like when we build big skyscrapers today, it's because it's condensed, filled with office space of cramming people in there to work. This is a whole bunch of work just to like be able to chop some people's heads off at the top. I don't believe that.
Oh yeah, well that's horseshit for sure. But they also say that a lot of these cultures inherited these pyramids in mainstream history. They don't keep the secret.
Yeah, like for sure, the Aztecs, like they inherited their pyramids.
Yeah, and they even stated that they did. And like so, Chichen Itza there, the pyramid on the top left there, it says in Mexico. I've been to that one. And it's absolutely fascinating. Like I was actually there on the winter solstice and got to see like the snake thing go like move as the sun was setting. That was epic.
I bet that was amazing.
But also, it was so cool. And I like remembering that I had also forgotten until my buddy Jeremy Reese, the alien scientist, on a stream a couple weeks ago, played the sound where you clap right at the center, and it will shoot your clap into the pyramid and shoot it back at you like pew pew. It's like the craziest sound ever, and I had forgotten that I had experienced that until he played it. And then as soon as he played it, it like brought me back 20 years ago when I was actually there, and like I went back into the spot and like reabsorbed the memory. It was pretty epic. But it's like the amount of engineering to be able to create that pyramid to reflect sound like that. I haven't seen us build any buildings like that recently, you know, like that's crazy engineering and architecture.
Well, it also has the serpent that moves with the shadow.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I saw. I was there on the winter solstice and saw it. It was freaking epic.
Yeah, that would have been amazing to see. I would love to see that.
Both of those built into it.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I do think that all the pyramids around the world are related.
Well, they have to be, because if people started exploring, like if there was the first culture that started it, right, then they're obviously advanced enough to just start to have maybe explorers, science, people that are just, I mean,
So what you're saying that you think one type of people had pyramids and then they decided to explore and they gave them to other people?
no, I'm saying we're like the honeybee. Like there's something in us. Like when you put people out there in the middle of the wild,
Collective consciousness, the
like
12th monkey sort of thing.
yeah, like that's what's going to happen. People are going to survive the elements once they've got to a point. Like there's just something in our programming, just like the honeybees, that makes it likely that whatever large group of people, when they get to a certain point, they're going to build pyramids.
Yeah, I don't know. I would have to hear more about that. I guess it doesn't really make too much sense to me, but I can see kind of where you're going with it.
Well, I compare honeybees. I mean, I like to use beehives just
But
because.
beehives are biological, though, right? They're evolved to secrete this membrane that they then use in making that hive.
Yeah, so I feel like there's something in us as well. Maybe not as embedded an instinct, but there's just something in our biology that just says build a pyramid.
Could be. We'd have to. I don't know how we'd even figure that out. I guess if we survive a reset, we'll find out.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And I suspect that there was a grand pyramid society, culture, and world that existed before was either wiped out by this Atlantean cataclysm of the Younger Dryas catastrophe or the Noahide floods or something like that. That it was a global civilization that was, could be more advanced than we are today, or could be a little bit less advanced than we are today, but was way more advanced than we were a couple hundred years ago. That it was the remnants of it. And that's why the deeper down you go in the pyramids and the structures, the bigger the blocks, the better the actual pyramid construction. And then the newer ones are just smaller, shantier, crumbling and stuff like that, where it would have been like imitated from the past.
Yeah, I've heard something similar along the lines. And I guess to clarify my theory more, let's take away the beehive analogy, and I'll just say maybe there's just something in us that just people want to feel powerful. And how do you do that? You build up. Maybe it's a way to get closer to the gods. Because look, we have look at the skyscrapers now. Like what an architect, world governments, what do they want to have? They want to.
I would agree with you more on that.
I
would agree with you more on that if there wasn't all these anomalies like what Bernie was describing with the snake and everything else, and all the there's so many aspects to it that say something. There's another reason behind why they were built in that specific way, unless all this stuff is inaccurate. Because I have seen videos of people where they like line up the north, south, east, west directions, and then they clearly aren't 100% aligned to that, but they still say it is. But you can see in the video that it's not. It's a little bit off. So they're kind of making an assumption. So I guess you could think of it that way, maybe.
Well, I would say it's a stylistic choice. Like I'd say that the big drive was just to get closer to the gods, and then everything else is just decoration based on their culture.
Possibly. Wait, let's check out these. Share my screen real quick and look at these pyramids, because there's some that are close together and they're all pointing the same direction.
Perfectly symmetrical. Line to north.
This is like 79 pyramids, and all in the same small area of China.
Pyramids right down here.
I think it's called Xijing.
Yeah, this guy just has a bunch of epic videos. You said he sadly passed away, though, hey, Shem?
Yeah, unfortunately, a little bit over a year ago.
Counted 14.
Great channel, great content.
But yeah, these mounds right here are very, very similar. This is in China, so this is like similar to the mounds you find in North America, like around Ohio.
Yeah.
Everything else.
And they have round ones and like square pyramidal ones.
And marked 7 of them.
I'm just scrolling because I don't know exactly.
These appear to be laid out in some sort of pattern. 7 of them here, and then 2 small ones just to the north of that, right?
Yeah, here's it.
This one perfectly aligned. Well, appears to be that way. They say these are mostly earthen structures, but you got to wonder, since probably no excavation has gone on, if there is some stone.
And they're planting trees and stuff all over these now.
To cover them, right? Like, so weird. Why would you cover it up as opposed to like glorify your past ancient?
Now China is about destroying the past. They're all about cultural revolutions and
Like,
just
look at this. It looks like all hidden like graves and burials and stuff.
This part here is interesting
Yeah.
because I don't know if these are stairs or what this is.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
you
is
think
that
like those are
the Valley of the Kings, like in Egypt, next to the pyramids?
I mean, if I ever somehow get to go to China, I'm definitely going to try to check this stuff out. But I doubt
look,
I'll ever
how
get to go.
tiny. They're like little sphinxes, little pyramids almost.
Look at this. Look at this. No, this is. You think this is above ground? I think it's going into the ground.
Well, it's going into the ground.
So to me, this looks like you're going down. Can you see my mouse, by
Yeah.
the way?
Yeah, we can see your mouse there.
So yeah, like it seems to me like you're going down, and these are steps going underground. But I can't. I mean, I can't really tell for sure.
No, I see what you're saying there. Yeah.
I mean, there's tunnels. There's tunnels everywhere around the world.
it's a whole city.
So yeah, this is huge. This is all in one area of China too. So there's a lot more. But for some reason, we're not allowed to excavate them or anything. I mean, the one time they did excavate them, they found those red-haired mummies and stuff. I don't know if you've ever heard of
the red-haired mummies or the terracotta armies, or there was that one Chinese empress that was like completely submerged in mercury and like the best mummified body or mummy that they've ever found.
I heard that the first temple you're talking about with all the terracotta warriors, I heard that his entire tomb is filled with like a mercury river or something, but I don't know.
Yeah, true. That one was too. Yeah, you're correct on that.
But yeah, you get it. This is for anyone who's interested. This is CFAP 7865. He has a lot of great videos, but unfortunately he did pass away. So rest in peace to him. But he has tons of videos for anyone who wants to check them out.
Yeah, we will definitely be doing another episode on that.
Oh, that was cool.
Together.
What does Google have to say about Chinese pyramids?
And Korean ones too.
Oh, that'd be interesting. I haven't looked into those at all.
Oh, look, why China keeps its pyramid secret. So
messy.
Yeah, the Grand White Pyramid, they try to claim, they still don't acknowledge the White Pyramid as being a pyramid.
The flyover pictures, I remember hearing about those from World War II.
Well, look, here's the pic. It has
wait, why does it say Roman Jesuit? What's that say? Hold on.
Oh, look, a Roman Jesuit wrote about the pyramids in 1785.
Huh. Interesting. I wonder which Roman Jesuit they're talking about. Was it? No, couldn't have been.
The guy that wrote that was like the shadow writer of Susie's War or whatever, the Art of War.
Sun Tzu.
Sun Tzu, sorry, my bad. Sun Tzu's Art of War. Apparently, there was a Roman Jesuit like leader behind him that was like occupying at the time of Sun Tzu that supposedly was the actual author of that. I've heard, but
I've never heard of that before.
Cultural misappropriation, and I am not trying to take any greatness away from the Chinese or Oriental people and give it to Rome and the sketchy Jesuits.
Yeah, the entire history of Asia is insane. Like Burma, Myanmar, right? Whatever you want to call it. Like that's, I don't know if you like Marco Polo. He wrote basically that there were like millions and millions of people in these battles, and of course, mainstream history says that he was exaggerating. But why would he be exaggerating something like that? I don't like if you ever have a chance to look into it, you should look into some of his stories about when he traveled through Burma and stuff like that, or really? the way like they describe the cities. Like I don't know. Maybe I'm getting the name of the person wrong who said this, but I know that in mainstream history that they talk about these battles that took place in Burma, Myanmar, and there were like supposedly 80 million people. It was between like the Khans and the Song Chinese dynasty, and like the Myanmar people at the time. So I don't know, it was insane. But yeah,
sounds probably provoked and instigated by.
I wish I knew more about it right now. I'm sorry,
Europeans to wipe them out and then go in and conquer afterwards, probably.
Yeah, probably. Well,
Myanmar and like Burma, they're one in the same country, but the stoops, or is it called stupas? And like the what are those other temples called? But like all the gold domes and just the amount of gold that are still on all of their temples, it's absolutely nuts. And like they're as antiquitechy as you get, and that you have gold, the ultimate conductor that's covering them, and like that all of these ancient structures, pyramids and stuff, like their earliest accounts, a lot of them were described as being covered in gold or silver, or also oh, what's that dielectric material? It'll come to me. The one in Mexico City was supposedly covered in it. Anywho, but like these the electric materials.
Well, the interesting thing about the structures you're talking about in Burma and Myanmar is that when the Khan actually captured that city, I guess they like admired him so much because of how much effort they put in. Like it was supposed to be a tribute to the gods or something. That's why they didn't just destroy them. That's why they still exist today. Because the Khan.
Yeah, look at those. Those are actual pyramids with then the stupa on top. Like that's a step pyramid and the stupa on top, and you can still see the gold on that. I think that's a fractal array antenna.
Wow.
I feel like they're more than likely, at least some of the last civilizations to live there didn't build those.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell how much of history is actually accurate.
Well, I mean, history is just. I mean,
lie after lie.
It doesn't belong.
lie.
I don't feel like history belongs to anybody, right? Because anything could get lost in a generation. Like, let's say something our grandparents knew. You know, if you don't talk to your grandparents, I mean, you're not going to get that source. And then by the time it gets to a book, it might be written by someone who may not have the best intentions, or someone who just doesn't care, or someone who's just not connected to that history, and it'll be left out, not necessarily for bad reasons or evil reasons, but I mean, history is just, I guess it's more of a science than anything at this point. Or what do you think?
Really?
I think it's more of a propaganda thing at this point, honestly.
Well, it can be used as propaganda for sure, but I guess my point is, unless you're there physically digging things up or seeing things with your own eyes, that's the only way history will really belong to you. Is like we have to get out to the source. I guess.
No, I agree. I don't think it's possible to know exactly 100% what happened. I guess what I'm more saying is that there's more information available that we're just not getting access to have more theories, because they want to use what they do give us as propaganda to make sure that no one thinks outside of the box necessarily. And what they do want us to think outside of the box with is still contained within a certain, like, I guess, cosmology. But
100%.
Yeah, I don't know. It's pretty interesting. It's just, it sucks that we don't have access to a lot of these hidden books and stuff, because we could at least get closer to what history was.
Right? Like I'm pretty sure the Library of Alexandria, the vast majority of what was in there is probably underneath the Vatican today in its archives.
Yeah.
It's an interesting theory. It's just these,
or at least copies of the same works.
A lot of the stuff gets lost in translation too, and it kind of sucks because for some reason the people that do the translations, they don't stay true to the source. They want to be all like poetic and impress people, and the people who publish the books even influence this because they want it to resell.
And their own biases as well, and the narratives of the time, and how many different languages and translations have happened to these books. And see, that is something that I really believe AI should be used for, is deciphering all of these ancient manuscripts, the different languages, especially the different golden tablets that have been found around the world that all seem to have these Proto-Sumerian, Proto-Greek, Proto-Sanskrit, and Proto-Runic languages that are in between hieroglyphic and these base or founding written languages, and that if we used AI to actually study them all and interpret them all, the vast majority of them, I believe, would probably be found to be legitimate, as opposed to just debunked because, you know, some guy 100 years ago decided to just get a whole bunch of gold and fake it all and learn all these different languages and the different dialects of them and write all these stories in these lost languages, where it's like, no, those are probably legitimate stories and buried and left for us for a reason.
Well, for sure, AI could be used to facilitate, right? Is that what you're saying? Like,
yeah, exactly. To facilitate whether at least that the writing is credible, that like the grammar adds up to the time that it's saying that it's written in, and stuff like that. You know, that it's like, oh, this guy's telling a story saying that he was from this area and then he traveled over here and it was at this time period, and then compare it to actual known text from that era and time period and location and be like, oh, look, this grammar is 100% on, even the slang, even this and that, and that the chances of that being fraudulent are like zero, essentially, and at least help give guidance in it. Or
it's an interesting idea. Does ChatGPT translate right now? Like, could you technically translate a book using it? Or
all right, now we just have to teach it ancient Sumerian and some Sanskrit.
Well, some of these languages people claim that they can decipher them, but it's just because they're not with the establishment that they don't get any credit.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Let's see. Can you translate ancient languages? Yes. An AI language model, I have been trained on a large corpus of text in various languages, including ancient languages such as Latin, ancient Greek, Sanskrit, and Old English. So
it's pretty cool.
Decent. All right.
Throw some of the Vedic in there.
Yeah.
What is the oldest language you can read? Let's see. Let's get that.
Sumerian.
Akkadian, ancient Egyptian, and Hittite. About 3000 BC.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it looks like it's got to start. Then the next aspect of taking this further would be like finding out how you get the not watered down ChatGPT and like the actual open source, open info one that you're not getting pre-programmed debunking answers out of it. And
I think there is a way to actually use it. I think you have to sign up for something, but I'm not 100% sure because I've never used any of them really.
Well, for sure, it's watered down, just like Google Maps is watered down compared to whatever the world governments have access to. You know, because if this is what we're getting for free, right? We can only imagine what the real version is. So
yeah, 100%. Like, did you know they built a second Hubble? When they launched the Hubble Space Telescope, they actually launched two of them, and that there's a second one up there, and that it's got like this gyroscopic feature that they literally were able to just flip it around and have it looking at Earth the entire time.
I believe that. I believe that.
Just, it's nuts.
Let's see. Does the Hubble telescope spy on people? Of course,
the second one's called the Hubble too.
No, give me a second. I'll find the name.
But that makes sense.
This guy in the chat, Mike Chores, says the pyramids we know of in Giza are fake, built to distort the timeline. Unfinished items were intentionally designed to be unfinished or abandoned. What do you think about that?
I gotta disagree with the people claiming that the Giza pyramids are a distraction or fake, just because if you actually get into studying them and the proportions and all of the different encoded knowledge within the lengths, angles, sides, and the chambers within them, it's just so advanced that it's impossible for them to have just created them as a diversion. But that said, with Luke and ancient historian stuff that we've been going over, and the more bigger pyramids that he's found references of and that we found these drawings of throughout the Nile further back, that they just left those ones as the main ones, and it seems like they they tore down and used the stone to build Cairo, as well as then built the Nasser Dam there to cover up the remnants of some of the bigger ones. But it just, they're way too advanced to be just created in that time period as a diversion.
Well, I mean, it's been you could find buildings. I forgot where I was, but I've seen churches built out of Roman blocks. You know, they've newer churches built out of old, but they took apart cities or whatever buildings and they use them to create new ones. So
like Roman concrete.
No, just blocks, like what bricks, Roman architecture, and then you'll see churches like from 1800s that have some parts that are just they were taken from older buildings. I guess is what I'm trying to say. So let's say you came in to conquer a new land, and you want blocks. Well, you have the existing buildings from the past civilizations to use. I guess is what I'm saying.
Exactly. And there's a lot of actual like Egyptian, and I believe it would have been, oh my God, the Turkey, the Ottomans that were in charge 400 or 500 years ago. That when the Ottomans took over the area, that they used and tore down some of the pyramids to build the mosques in Cairo. Like that's actual documented history.
Yeah, they were trying to dig into it apparently to find gold, and they never did. So he like paid them the same amount of wages or something. I don't remember the story exactly, but it is documented.
So we can't trust nothing then. We can't trust history. We can't trust the internet.
I would say there's no
pictures.
Well, I would say there's no reason to actually need to trust anything, but it should be thought of more of like you want to have as much information as possible just so you can think about what it could have been. It doesn't necessarily need to be 100% anything in either direction for me. I would just like to have access to all of the information because I think it's interesting.
Right, yeah, like the Herodotus's accounts of Herodotus's accounts of who built the Egyptian pyramids. Apparently there was like 10 or 12 different theories of the ancient Greeks of how and who built the pyramids, and now there's only one remaining ancient Greek account of the Egyptians building it. So it's like there's so much lost information over time, and it seems that it's continuously intentionally skewed, covered up, and that you can trust numbers because numbers never lie, like in math or like angles or whatever, like equations that science comes up with, as well as boots on the ground and physical remnants, artifacts, and what is actually being dug out of the ground and rediscovered.
Well, it makes sense because who has the power? The people with the knowledge to build things, right? So if every man had the knowledge, whoever's in power would not have that advantage. So I do see a point with that.
Yeah, absolutely, right. And like so we found some like science, like French and German science books from the 1600s and the 1500s that show them accurately measuring the different layers of differential in atmospheric electricity around these the different cathedrals and whatnot, and that it seems like they actually were to some degree getting some sort of electrical charge, current, or usage out of it in some of the cathedrals, and that if back then the elite and the church were able to pull a little bit of electricity into their churches, oh, this is the power of God, or this is magic that we have, and that, oh, you must worship this sort of thing, and that you could very easily use that sort of knowledge and technology to manipulate your serfs and keep your sovereignty as the supreme ruler, like touched by God.
Well, I could totally see it. Like if there's energy to be felt, I mean, what better way to convince people, right, to go to church and you're talking to them, and the energy could have been used for other stuff. It didn't necessarily
Yeah,
have
exactly.
power
Yeah,
anything. It could put people in a certain state of mind to be able to receive messages, a lot easier.
100%.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not sure where I stand on that whole thing, because I've just been hearing so much different evidence recently that my perspective has changed a lot on, I guess, the timeline issue, because I know people talk about having 1,000 years added and stuff like that, but I don't think necessarily that was the situation. I think that maybe history just has been maybe stretched out a little bit more than we would think, if that makes any sense. Like, for example,
Yeah.
I don't know if you
Yeah,
ever,
like I really don't know. Like I can't accurately say, like, I don't necessarily believe or disbelieve in that extra or lost 1,000 years. Like, it's just so difficult to tell. And yeah, I have definitely not had the time or energy to read Flamenco's work and try to even understand his theories on it and whatnot. And there's just so many different ones. The one aspect I do believe as a possibility is that there could have been like a reset or catastrophism within the last 1,000 years, and that there was another few thousand or even 10,000 years of like a half developed survivor society and global society that existed in between the survivors of the Younger Dryas catastrophe events.
Well, in the past, kings, right? When they conquered other kings and they want to erase them from history, right?
Yeah.
Names have been erased from history. So why not cities? Why not towns? Why not certain civilizations that once they've been conquered, they don't want any knowledge to exist? Because that's in the past, that's how you would conquer people. You would literally erase any existence from them.
Yeah.
So it's very possible hundreds of years, thousands of years we don't know that they've been, just gone.
Like, look at how the Spanish conquistadors completely genocided the language and culture of the Aztecs, Mayans, and South Americans, to the point that up to, I think, 30 years ago, it was taught that they had no written language and no archives, only for it to come out and be found, oh no, they had a very advanced pictographic written language, as well as mathematics and all sorts of record keepings, that they just burnt all, destroyed it, and murdered everybody that had any trace memory of it.
And they put the kids in schools, and they were taught other stuff that had nothing to do with their past culture, their heritage, or anything like that.
Still happening today.
Yep.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking.
It is, but you got to know the past to build a better future, or essentially know ourselves and what we're trying to figure out and prevent it from happening again. That's the big part. Coming together as one world's people, stop killing ourselves and trying to conquer ourselves, and actually build together for a better, brighter future.
Yeah, especially at this point when we don't necessarily have to compete for resources or land. Now the food issues, handled. Right?
There should be enough abundance for all, and that's like with the right direction, it could easily create more than enough abundance of food and energy for everyone alive.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, for some reason they don't want that, so
no.
And the whole hidden history and everything ties into it, because they want to control the narrative. They want to make us feel like there's nothing we can do, and this is the way things have always been. It doesn't seem like that's the case to me. It doesn't seem like it seems like very recently these people came to power, and that a majority of history was created by them.
Very good point, right? No, we've always been a warring people. We've always been killing each other. No, you always got to fight your brother to the death. Like, no, there's no such thing as family values or community.
Yeah.
Oh, your social credit stamp. That's all you need in life.
Oh man, that would be a good topic for next time.
Absolutely. We're 2 hours 15 minutes in, so guessing probably want to wrap that up. Getting a little bit late for you guys.
Yeah. We should all get some rest. Well, thank you guys for joining the stream.
Yeah, thanks for having me
Yeah,
again.
appreciate you having me. It was a good time.
Yeah, pleasure. And by all means, down to do it again.
Yeah,
Awesome
let's do it. And everybody in the chat who joined us, thank you very much. I know I wasn't responding or anything. I was busy trying to manage over here the streaming side. But thank you very much, everybody, and Shem and Bernie. Thank you very much, and everybody have a good night.
Appreciate you. Have a good night, chat.
Much respect. Thank you.